She broke me. She broke me, man. She broke my heart in half. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, ThatBoyAJ, and guess what time it is? It's time for story time. Alright, guys, today's video, as y'all see in the title, is my first heartbreak. Man, this is a crazy story of mine, and this one hurt me. It hurt me a lot, but I'm willing to share it to you guys. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the video. We're gonna rewind all the way back to February 2017 when I first met this girl, man. So, it's just a regular day at school, man. I wake up in the morning, I do my normal school routine to get ready for school. Alright, so it's just a regular February day of school, and everything goes by smoothly that morning. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, man, it's gonna be a good day. It was a Friday too, so I know something was gonna happen. Like, I'm always feeling good on Fridays at school, man. So first period happens, nothing too special happens. Class goes by fast in my mind. So second period happens, and here comes the good part. This is where I meet the girl. So a bunch of me and my friends, man, we're walking to class, and then I see one of my freshman friends, and she has this girl beside her, and they're walking and talking and whatever. And I noticed her, because me and her, we've ended up following each other on Instagram before school started or whatever. You know how the lower classmen end up following the upperclassmen or whatever. So that happens, right? And I ended up saying hey to her, and she spoke to me, and she was like, I know you, you're from Instagram. I was like, yeah, you too. She asked me my name, and you know how like on Instagram, everybody calls you by your name, it's such and such. Like if somebody sees me in public, they're probably like, oh, that's ThatBoyAJ. Wait, not really. But she asked my name, I told her it was AJ, and she was like, hey AJ, I'm gonna give her an undisclosed name, so it's not too shabby and no shade is being thrown at her, but I'm gonna call her Bailey, okay? So she tells me her name is Bailey, and I'm like, okay, cool. After she tells me her name, we just even end up parting ways, and I ended up seeing her 2 more times. I ended up seeing her 3 more times later that day. So she speaks to me again, and then when the end of the day comes, this is the last time we see each other. The end of the day comes, our 7th period classes are right across the hall from each other, so it's like weird as hell, bro. Like this was coincidental, and it was like it was meant to happen or something. Like we were meant to be connected or get into a relationship or whatever. So boom, that happens. So 7th period bell rings. She says, hey AJ, one last time, and I say, hey Bailey, or whatever. And I end up getting on the bus to go home, and she ends up doing her thing or whatever she does. So I decide to boss up and drop my nuts or whatever, and I go on Instagram, I find her Instagram, and I DM her. I'm like, hey, do you remember me from school today? And she's like, yeah, or whatever. I had intentions of shooting my shot, and I was gonna hit that bitch like I'm Damian Lillard from 3. He's automatic from 50 out.
With 20 seconds to go in the half. Oh my!
I end up DMing her on Instagram. We have a nice little chat or whatever. I ended up asking her for a number. She ends up giving me her number. And I get a number, and we start texting whatever. And then I had intentions on going to a friend's house later that Friday night. That is another reason why that Friday was so good, because I was going to a friend's house. So I ended up going to my friend's house or whatever, and on the way there, I'm still texting the girl. Mind you, we're still like complete strangers or whatever. So I hit her with this is how I get to know every girl, man. I get their number, start texting a little bit, and I hit them with do you want to FaceTime? Smooth. Remember that, guys, a little pointer. That's what I do. The FaceTime trick always does it. Anyways, so yeah, man, I get her number or whatever, and I'm texting her as I'm going to my friend's house, and I hit her with the question. I was like, do you want to FaceTime tonight? She was like, yeah, that would be cool. So I get to my friend's house or whatever, get food and stuff, and I thought this was gonna be a regular Friday, and I thought I was gonna just go to my friend's house. We're gonna play video games that night, nothing special. But ended up getting the girl's number, and stuff went down. So I ended up calling her on FaceTime. We ended up talking for like all night. I got to my friend's house at like 8, and we ended up talking 8 to like 1 o'clock in the morning, man. We fell asleep on the phone the very first night too. So I thought it was something real special, because mind you, this was like the first girl I ever had like serious feelings for, and that I feel like I gave her my heart. But whatever, let's move on. The next morning, my phone died or whatever on FaceTime. So the next morning, she texts me, and we ended up texting throughout the day and stuff like that, and just carrying on the conversation or whatever, and still getting to know each other. Mind you, we have known each other for a day and a half, and we were like 2 peas in a pod, if that makes sense. Everything was like flowing smooth. I was like, yeah, she's pretty cool, man. She's girlfriend material. And man, first FaceTime call did it to me, man. I instantly, man, I caught feelings for her, man. But if you would have saw her, you'd like, damn, she's cute, man. She's girlfriend material. Conversations we had that following night were flowing well and whatever. We had gotten to know each other, so over the course of the next couple weeks or whatever, we're always texting, man. Texting on a daily basis, FaceTiming. She FaceTimes me first, man. Text me first. Good morning text, good night text, man. Stuff like that. I was feeling like real happy and shit, man. Like, this is the first girl that actually likes me for me. And I was just so geeked up. I didn't tell any of my close friends like talking about, but here's the crazy thing that happens, man. A love triangle develops. So early on, one of my friends, like a mutual friend, or not a mutual friend, but a friend I had, they ended up, him and the girl were so-called together at a point in time. So I didn't know anything about it. So my friend ended up getting friend zoned by her. And I'm thinking like, hey man, no biggie. It's not gonna happen to me. It's the same mistake not gonna happen to me. But anyways, this is the reason why my friend had got friend zoned by her. And mind you, I did not know that the two were talking at the time, so I felt completely innocent about it, and I didn't feel like I would be a bad guy for talking to the girl. But anyways, the reason my friend had got friend zoned by her was because she had a boyfriend. I didn't know about the boyfriend until like until like weeks later that we were talking. Her boyfriend was living in Dallas or whatever, so she was in a long distance relationship but not really committed or whatever. I'm thinking the same thing not gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna get friend zoned. She probably gonna end up dumping her boyfriend, come with me, whatever, and it is what it is. We're gonna ride off into the sunset, man. Shebang bang.
Boy, if you don't get...
Weeks go by and stuff like that, and me and her had planned on going on a date or whatever, and the date had never ended up happening. But I do want to say one thing. She was the first girl that ever talked on the phone with my mom. And that's the accomplishment in my eyes, because I had no other girl prior to her talking on the phone with my mom. So, you know she was special or whatever. So yeah, man, I thought I was going to get the girl from her boyfriend, that she wasn't going to be in a long distance relationship or whatever. We were going to be together, ride off into the sunset, and end of story. But no, man, around late March is when Drake dropped More Life. I had told her I had intentions on buying the More Life playlist from Drake, and she was like, oh, that's gonna be cool. And I was like, yeah, I'm a big Drake fan, and if you want it, I could actually give you my Apple ID and password so you can download it onto your phone, since you're a Drake fan as well and you listen to him just as much as I do. She was like, yeah, that would be cool. So this is where I feel like I got used. So More Life comes out. I sent her, the day it comes out, I sent her my information so she can download it or whatever, because I didn't have Apple Music at the time. I was just buying albums. But yeah, she downloads the Drake album and we talk about it, such and such, blah blah blah. A week after More Life drops, I get a text message from her while I'm on the school bus, and she says she tries to friend zone me, and all of a sudden my heart just like stops, and I'm like, what is going on? We've been talking for so long, like going on a month or whatever. I caught feelings for her fast. I'm not gonna cap. Like, we going to sleep on the phone every night. We texting on a daily basis or whatever. And she was like, I don't want to be as serious as we were. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And she was like, moving too fast or whatever and stuff like that. But man, we're making like promises and stuff like that, like coming up with all this stuff, such and such, all of that. Nobody knew about us like talking about. But then I get the friend zone text message, like she don't want to be serious like that. She like just wants to be friends, and I'm like, where's all this coming from? And she was just like, I'm not ready. And then it just hit me like, damn, she really don't want me no more. What am I gonna do? Like, I never felt this way for any girl up until this point. I was like 16 at the time, and my heart just stopped. So I get home, I'm still trying to text her and see what's going on, but I'm not getting like solid answers. I'm just getting like one-word responses and stuff like that. So she ends up saying she's gonna call me later in the night. So I stayed up all night. Well, not all night, but I have like a cutoff time or whatever when I go to sleep. So I stayed up until like 12 a.m. waiting on her to call me, and she never ended up calling me. So the next morning I ended up texting her. I was like, why you didn't call me or whatever? And she just said such and such. And I'm like, man, you really hurt me. You really hurt me saying that. She was like, I'm sorry. and it was complete bull, man. She just, basically she used me. It hurt, and the next day comes, and I'm still upset, and I'm telling my girl best friend at the time that I'm hurting, man. I need somebody to talk to, and I talked to her about it, and for the next week, man, well, for the next couple of days, the next 2 days, I come home from school, I don't do anything but just go to sleep. I stopped eating for 2 days because I was so heartbroken, and it is what it is, man. Shit happens. She broke me, man. She broke my heart in half. I feel like she used me for the Drake album or whatever, and we did have like a good connection or whatever, but it is what it is. I just feel like at the end of the day, she used me. I don't eat anything for 2 whole days. I just come home and go to sleep, and I was hurt. I was hurt really bad, man. I had never felt any pain like this before. I'm like, damn. I feel like I got shot in the chest, and she just ripped my heart right out of it as a whole. So, on the 3rd day, my stepdad decides to say something to me. He's like, man, you want to talk about it? I've been worried about you. My stepdad thought that I was on the verge of committing. Noticed that I was real sad and I wasn't myself. Like, I come home, I listened to Marvin's Room, and at the time, Teenage Fever by Drake, and this song by Big Sean called Owe Me. I was hurting, man, and my stepdad, he talked to me. He was like, there's gonna be girls out there, you're gonna get your heart broke more than one time or whatever, and you just live and learn from it and move on. I feel like she just used me, and then, like, I want to say 2 weeks later, I had unsaved her number in my phone after all that commotion, like, throughout the heartbreak. After all that, so 2 weeks later, she ends up calling my phone and decides to check on me, ask me how I'm feeling, and this is why I fucked up. This is why I fucked up, man. I answered the phone, I poured out my damn heart to her. I poured out my heart to her, and I was letting her know. I told her she hurt me. I told her I was hurting or whatever. And she was like, she told me she missed me, and she missed talking to me. And that's why I knew it was complete bull, bro. It was complete bull. But anyways, it is what it is. So I tried, and we tried to make things work again. I don't know why I was an idiot. So summer comes along, and she ends up popping out with a boyfriend. And that's just it, man. After she gets the boyfriend, I'm feeling like there's nothing else I can do. She just totally forgot about me, moved on from me, just like that. And I'm just hurting. But man, I'm gonna try to wrap this up right now. Live and learn, man. Don't fall in love too fast, because you end up getting hurt. And most importantly, at least try to figure out when a girl is using you. All right, guys, so to conclude all this, man, I want to say, be careful with girls, man, because you live and you learn from heartbreak. Be aware of if you're being used, because gold diggers are real. Girls will use you for attention, or just if they're bored or lonely. Maybe she was lonely from her long distance relationship that she had with her boyfriend or whatever. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But man, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you smack the hell out of that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. But man, like I've been saying, if you got stepbrothers, stepsisters, distant cousins, a pen pal, somebody that you met off Tinder, somebody that you met off Facebook, it doesn't matter. If they are new to my channel, make sure to tell them to subscribe, because at 400 subs, man, we're gonna be doing a giveaway, and I'll see you guys on the next one. That boy AJ out. Let's get it.